My granddaddy, we'd go fishing, he'd always tell me, he said, never forget where you are, who you are, and where you came from. He said, no matter what troubles life brings to you, always remember where you came from. If you forget who you are, then you're going to forget everything. My name is Jeffery Staples. When I was 12, I started smoking marijuana, and from there it led to cocaine, to powder. And then the first time I tried meth, I went to sleep, so I didn't do it. I said, well, I'm going to do it, but it ain't supposed to make me go to sleep. And so I was a few years, and then I tried it again at 17 or 19, and it done what it was supposed to do, and from there it was a downward spiral, like everything. Like I was a shelter as a child, and like I was my granddaddy's shadow. And then when my granddaddy died, I just lost it, and I went straight to meth. And for 15 years, that's all I did. In and out of jail. I went to prison once, got out, and almost went to prison again. And before I went to prison again, that's when Miss Feathers and Miss Matthews came and said, hey, let's go to DRC. And it really saved me.
So Mr. Staples arrived to this DRC. Initially, he did have a warrant for testing positive. We did get the notification that he was going to court. So his family members and I kind of already knew each other prior to him getting a warrant. So they called to see what was our recommendation. So I spoke with Counselor Pellisone to see if we can do an assessment to see about him getting into the DRC.
Mr. Staples arrived to me about a year and a half ago. He had signed a waiver into the DRC. At the beginning, we had a couple minor issues with him being late for classes and things like that. And he did have a couple positive drug screens right at the beginning.
My name is Namal Featherstone. I am one of the behavioral health counselors here at the Alcovy grant-funded DRC. He started off pretty, he wasn't resistant, but you can tell he had a lot of time in the system, so he knew how to, I would say, finesse his way through a lot of things and just do the bare minimum. But at one point, I saw a shift. And when that happened, it seemed like he really committed to the process. And I believe the shift really happened when he noticed that he can trust us.
I had no other choice. I've been in prison one time when I didn't like it, and I didn't want to go back. Like Jackson State, that's the place nightmares are made of, and that's something I don't want to redo again. Yeah, fishing helps keep me grounded. Whenever I'm stressed out, I come here and I ain't got no worries. I think about my granddad a lot. It's the way of life. The things my grandfather said drifted away in my addiction. And when DCS pulled me in, and that grounded me, and they put me back on the right path. And how do you say it? Like when a sheep wanders away from the pack, DCS was kind of like my shepherd that put me back on the right path and rerouted me down to my grandpa's words.
We started seeing a different side of Mr. Staples. It was probably a few months into him being in the DRC. At first, I don't think he was too happy to be in the DRC. Of course, having to report to the office every single day, lots of drug screening, stuff like that. No, he didn't really have any interest in that at first. Several months down the line, he kind of started to settle into things. And I mean, eventually it got to the point where I think he was enjoying coming to classes, spending time with the counselor and all of the guys inside of classes.
What I got out of DRC was how to set my goals, how to look forward into the future as in brighter things, and just instead of looking back in the past and what I was been through. Learning how to put one foot in front of the other. And just all the tools they taught me, and Miss Feather, she's awesome. Everything that she taught me, the wisdom and whatnot, just to learn how to block the past. Well, not to block the past, but learning how to get through after everything you've been through. The DRC for me was a blessing in disguise.
My name is Daryl Sherritt. I'm the shipping manager here at Ruskin Packaging, and we make and ship corrugated boxes. Jeffery Staples' aunt was working for us, and he came and interviewed for the job, and we hired him.
Ruskin's Packaging, I got out of prison in 2021, and they hired me on the spot. Like, I've been working there ever since. And they really helped save me, because that kept my mind occupied. gave me something to do, and they've really been a really big support team of mine.
Jeffrey's main responsibilities are pulling the line, making sure all the trucks get loaded, computer work, separating the paperwork afterwards, all of that.
Like when I first started, I told him, I said, I'm here to take your job.
He's come a long ways as far as that goes, as a human being, as a person, as an employee.
The goal I'd like to achieve is plant manager. The plant manager, he runs the whole plant. He's telling my boss what to do. You know what I mean? My granddaddy always told me, if you're gonna do it big. So I'm going to the top.
Since Mr. Staples has been in the program, I see a huge change. Because like I said, initially, I knew him prior. So I've seen the Mr. Staples they use constantly. I've seen that. So since he's been in the program, he has done amazing. Like I see a drastic change in who he was then versus who he is now.
Mr. Staples is on his way to phase 3, which is aftercare. There are 3 phases in the DRC. He's on his way to aftercare. What I expect to see there is a focus on his health, which is something that he wasn't focused on initially when he came to us. So he's focusing on his health. He's focusing on the next level of his life professionally. He also wants to have a family. So I think that he's probably feeling more confident and in a position to actually reach for those things. So I'm looking for some even better things out of him. I know he's going to be a continued success story once he leaves the program.
My favorite class was definitely moral reference therapy, MRT, because it made you see stuff about you that you didn't know was in you.
Future advice I have for Mr. Staples is to continue working on himself every single day. Recovery is not something that is linear, and it's not something that he obviously changed overnight. Just encouraging him to continue working on his health and choosing every day to live in a world of recovery.
Miss Matthews, Miss Brown, the whole staff, they saw something in me that I didn't see, that I thought I never have. I went from failing drug tests and running from probation to being on video. It's something I'd never thought. Never in my wildest dream I thought something like this. The advice I have for others is it works if you work it. Keep your mind. You got to have a strong mind. Just keep pushing. And there is light at the end of the tunnel.